Hey guys, it's Parker here, back with part 29 and part 30 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time I was talking about Genshin Impact and Grand Fantasy, right? So guess what this gal just went through? So I got Beto to level 90. I also got the Raiden Shogun to level 90, and guess what? This November, the character uncapped that was announced is Rosetta. So yeah, yay! So yeah, man, my favorite character Rosetta finally got her level 100 uncapped announced. So yeah, I'll just be waiting for that, and I'll probably be like styming all day just to get her level 100 once that happens. So yeah. All right, back to the game. Any normal petty thief will run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah, I suppose you had to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or a scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Ebony's friend, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, Consul. So, I believe y'all understand the door is locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. Hold it! You didn't do or take anything? Is that your story? You just shot Sholmes. Well, it's better as soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. They even had time to pull me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say. That's right, Governor, nothing we aim more than violence. Peace-loving nippers, we are not bludgers. You just shot Jones. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out me Lucy lockets. So you clearly like us to believe. Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saying so loud, they fired a gun, you say? Blame me, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the girl, right? It was. Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to the hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. Alright, I think it's just gotta make sure everything is okay. Alright, everything's okay. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed, remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, Consul. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Okay, wonder if we could examine it. Now, my learned Nipponi's friend. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there. However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast their incompetence and move on. Evidence that these fired that gun before they left Winniebanks that night. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. Okay, let's look at the court record. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Yes, which shows us that only a single shot was inspired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes. It happened almost as soon as he walked in through Windybank's door. I'll make those brothers pay. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in a pawnbroker shop that night? I should have just presented this instead. The evidence is indisproportional. What are the there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Like, okay, I haven't been in court for a while, so I'm still a bit rusty in presenting evidence, y'all. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Japanese of you. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim that the evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. Now more doubting than counsel present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? This one.
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Windybank's pawnbroker on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, and as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The dates shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot has been fired sometime after the calendar has been set to the 16th. That's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes that this credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun at the pawnbrokers that night. Ah! Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zeeks? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for filling my halo chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbroker illegally. And like the bald baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back into the street. Take it easy there, Gunner. You're gonna land us in the soap. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into the details. Tell him, Sulky. Set the spark straight. I had nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Fancies knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Japanese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Francis? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, that shot found its target, Mr. Sholmes. Then clearly, these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting at the perpetrator and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to murder Mr. Winterbank at all. So that's it. But I mean, they were there at the scene of the crime, weren't they? That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash. You didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? We're in for it now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It was seen the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where is he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh yeah, the freaking cameras. Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that console? It's the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he'll be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Oh boy. Here are the pictures. 30 minutes later each. As the court will observe, copious, identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the core plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Hey, that's a bit of fire talk, eh, bro? Lady Luck loves a slogan. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1, right, bro? Must have been, Nash. Must have been, yeah, just got 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. What? Good lord! It's the defendant! What are you doing, Jenny? Miss Gina Lestrade! Did you threaten Windy Bank? As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Girl, what are you doing? Quite! One can only too easily imagine the scenes that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Oh my god, Gina, what are you... Ugh, I don't believe it, Ginny. Ginny, what are you doing? Oh my god. The cat! Like, wow. Okay. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. I say, my lord. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreign. Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwan, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from the service, sadly. Of course, the medal could never outshine the exploits of chaps like us in the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battlefield at the retirement seat, the battle of day of life we like, and here I am now leading to a small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we all go down together, backwards, one for all for one. The ladies and gentlemen of jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. This is the guard of squadron's position, sir. What? No. It's to soon make a judge status report for the court, man. On the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think you'll find the truth is just as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I went out button there, I just wouldn't, but honestly can't actually remember. Situation clear. Stop. No room for stop. Stop. Doors now undineable. Stop. I don't know what's going on. I am very sorry for brothers. They're unlucky. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce and consider verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definite evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants the permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for your action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds they have determined the defendant to be guilty. Okay, I'm just gonna be quiet and listen to the summation theme, because it's like really good. The circumstance of the crime and evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. That storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and accused were discovered alone, and in the accused's hand the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Taken from a chap who's seen action in a battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the belly trigger, but she didn't, shoot at that moment. How do you even know, she shot the gun? Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, Hurley's camera is supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But what if that picture actually does help? But Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winniebank. Which means there's more to the situation that we have to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. Alright, let's just listen to this theme, shall we?
Hold it!
I really wish you'd pay more attention to trial, not less to juror number 2. What do you mean? Why is he paying attention to juror number 2?
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see again. A maid's work is never done, not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I had to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpurses, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps? Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all the Spock sons would be made spick and span or eradicated. I always see how people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals. Oh, I don't know, just eradicate all the poor people. Yeah, that's easier said than done. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right, I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid at the capital. Mr. Sholmes? A maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum had the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail was 2 brothers in stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed, they're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be a better idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright, I shall amend my statement. Okay. Those brothers are scoundrels. They just sing for shooting this great detective. I agree with you. The shooting Mr. Schultz is an unforgivable act. But the purpose of the trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Winniebank. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. Sorry? Whether it was the thieves or the pickers, it was still gutter trash who shot the pawnbroker in the end. Fails? That should be cleaned up and eradicated in my considered opinion. Thanks so much for sharing. Changing just May's mind isn't going to be easy. You know, it was one of the two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Yes, without question. Well, then I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use this May's statement to help us somehow, do you think? Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first. So we could connect them together to have them pit against each other.
Hold it! Objection!
Oh, how'd you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only you could give me a more new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. What exactly have you been murdering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Ah, I'm so sorry. As you could probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country consider doctors, oh no. Even though me and my kind at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you left behind? Ah, well, that's a little embarrassing to be honest. You see, I was operating someone yesterday, Saturday, went into the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly, surely not, you say to yourself. Don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I wouldn't. Then where is it? So there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's the one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern, seeing as this case appears to be all but soon up. I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what is soon up elsewhere. Oh, I'm sure I made everything was packed as it should be, well as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure.
Hold it!
Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You're well born, young lady. Heh. But cables will soon become a thing at the past stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Message is carried over airways to four corners of Gulf. Stop. She's getting very passionate about this. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere. Electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Stop. Okay, she's kind of scaring me now. People say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter playful. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Would you like to say something? Juror number 3 started interrupting. You're obviously filming, but what? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on, I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know! Pardon? I think you find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you never even noticed before. Wow, I just said that before, but I'll say it again. Have you got any prints we could look at with the stereoscope? Absolutely, we can. How about this print here? It should do the trick then, I think. This one.
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Take that!
Wait, sorry. What do you mean one more print? Oh dear, don't you have these in Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works? Like, I know, but like, I guess I need 2 prints of one scene. You need 2 photographs or a stereoscope, remember? Okay. Yeah, I remember, but like, I just wanted to examine that picture, but we don't have 2 prints of it. But the print we have from the pawnbroker is just a normal photograph. No, I think you'll find that the clues in the name is a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints. Thanks for the friendly explanation. Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then. Ahaha! I think you'll find that the know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council? If we get 2 prints, then we'll go back to that man. Okay. So, why exactly do you think that the defendant is guilty? It's quite simple. We haven't been shown a scrap of evidence, it's just that she isn't the culprit. And just as radio waves dash through the skies faster than the eyes can see, so we should dash to the conclusion of this trial and stop pandering to indecision. Okay.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not feeling Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor? As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like a vicious criminal. In your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat, and which gloves fits. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they're criminals only because of how they look. I mean, they literally shot someone. The Skulking Brothers? Maybe they went inside a pawnbroker shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is all I wanted to say. The Skulking Brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Bruno? The jurors are chosen random for the inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. Ask the game developers, Ryunosuke. If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over. But we know that Genie would never shoot anyone. Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Okay, I was kind of thinking of pitting juror number 2 with juror number 6. Yeah, because like, they did shoot the detective. And then juror number 6 is like, oh, they didn't do anything wrong. So I'll pit juror number 2, juror number 6.
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement contradictory? Contradict? C-O-N. Juror number 6, you got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulking brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Jones in the abdomen, I understand. Oh my god, does the surgeon, like, operate at Mr. Jones? Oh my god. Surely not going to tell the court now that he didn't hear. Abdomen, A, B, D. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear? Forgive me, I did not hear. Ugh. Ah, here is word, abdomen, part of a person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me that these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before, we never done anything, but truth is, they shot detective. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Lying is wrong, especially when lies said by a person who looks like criminal. Please do not squeeze your mouth. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to police report, no stolen goods are found, so... Enough! I trust no one now! It's not the mouse's fault though, sir. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. The poor mouse. Every time would be possible. Yes, it is, Runo. Easily. Sorry. With the Prince of Hurley's red-handed recorder. Ah, if you compare the print on pictures to Ginny and the next print for half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away anything was taken or not. Cooey! Cooey? Mr. Prosecutor! Calling out the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print shows the accused threatening the victim as she broke into the shop. It's this one. Following this, the victim and accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulking brothers entered the shop and someone heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events are captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' fight. So this was taken after Hurley shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. So, the brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right, I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers are blind. I think it is very important to continue a trial. Oh, okay. Yay! Well done, Runo. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I could do that, it just might turn the situation in our favor still. Thank you, Consul. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographer printed a ballot to be filed as evidence. Okay, I wonder if we could show it to that guy. I wonder if we can make use of that.
Take that! Take that!
Alright, these two prints are both taken with the same camera when the banks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Liar. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Yes. Well, I think so. I did have a lesson on it yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges two images together inside your head, it notices a shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that won't work at all. Not proceeding to scene 3-dimensionally anyway. Oh! Of course, now I see. Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret. I have. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Have another look at these 2 pictures from Hurley's camera, Runo. Go on. I can't cross my eyes though. Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them? Of course there is. There are 2 people in the first and no people in the second. Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. I can't cross my eyes. Let's see if by crossing eyes I can make the quill pens perform each picture overlap in the middle. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo? Not really. I'm just not very good at this, that's the trouble. Oh, don't worry, I have just thing. I happen to bring with me a portable stereoscope. I don't even know how people cross their eyes, like I can't do it. I mean, I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you had that contraption with you from the outset, you could have saved me staring at Mr. Winniebank and Gina like I hate them all the time. And if you remember, I said in reply that it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect of your own eyes. Well, I can't, so it's not satisfying at all. Anyway, why don't we try using this helpful little aid now? Here it goes. Now let's see what we got. Wait, look at that. Ah, what's going on with these 2 pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Oh man, I kind of want to see Basic's crossing his eyes though. Yes, that's it you see. That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why did the use do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope? As I said before, if you try to look at 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see these pictures 3-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance the objects on the counter have moved at all between the 2 pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, there must have been. Now hold fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I say. But why did double this shift between the 2 prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. Me? I haven't the first idea. I can't even cross my eyes. You know, Reno, it's kind of simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken, but the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means in some time in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zookers! Someone tampered? New information, stop! Not mentioned in testimony so far, stop! Yes. We've had to go around the circles a little here, it seems, but I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. I mean, who do I even pick? Like, any of these 2? Like, they just pick any of these 2? The brothers? Oh, I'll just present this guy. It was the witnesses currently stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait, this does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. Could you put the poor mouse down, please? They said that they did not even have the time to pull Dukes from Lucy Lockets. My Facebook says Dukes is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is this what you're saying? Could you put the poor mouse down? Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there, everybody. I'm sure, right? I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's very possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. And why exactly? As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Mrs. Straw's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop. Giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is pickfirst, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madame. No, better, in fact worse, than the pickfirst. I believe that these brothers are looking for something on the victor's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you will condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? Well said. I for one would like to hear more about the shady pair. With your head. Can y'all see now? I think if I serious ghosts aren't playthings, you see their extraordinary potential firsthand. Oh, Hardy Gray, stop. Must purchase after trial, stop. Return home via Regent Street, stop. Wow, it would seem that the trial is yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury would declare the inclinations via the findings as a justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue. Yay, well done! Oh, by the way, what? You should hold on to this journal. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. Alright. Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Bouquet? I've won myself another chance to prod that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing one until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Whoops, kind of like trailed off there. To be continued. Okay, I guess I could like make this part 29 and then the next part I'm gonna continue recording part 30.